Good morning. This is Dr.Madhavi Lata Agrawal from Government EVPG College, Korba, and today I will tell you something about actors and acting, written by William Hazlitt. William Hazlitt is one of the greatest essayists of English literature. As an essayist, he enjoys a trustworthy reputation. His influence to the English essay is significant. He is a writer of personal essays. That is, he writes what he observes in the people. In a memorial sermon for William Hazlitt in October 1830, Reverend John said of him, "He was the fearless, the eloquent, and the disinterested advocate of the rights and liberties of man in every cross and in every clime." That means he meant to say that Hazlitt was not worried what people spoke about him, but he spoke for the rights and liberties of mankind so that his essays could be read by people and understood the problems of the common man. Hazlitt was the son of a Unitarian minister. After a brief stay at America, he returned to England, where his literary genius ultimately flowered. He was influenced by Coleridge to a great extent. He was a close friend too. Hazlitt was a prolific writer. He wrote on various subjects. He was a keen observer of life, and in his essays, he deals with the society, their problems, and what the people faced. Each of his essays records the action, gives them motives, and reveals the whims of the common man. He writes on books of all kinds, whether it be politics, sports, stage, dealing with anything and the common man. And this imparts a special charm to his essays. In spite of this informality, Hazlitt's essays are not light in nature. They are serious and thought-provoking. They show his philosophic bent of mind. His essays should be read and understood. Then only can you understand what he wants to say. A large number of his essays are on abstract ideas such as egotism and reason, upon the self, and about how to find some problems, some solutions for the problems faced by the self. Reflection found in Hazlitt's essays are not the products of the head, but come straight from the heart, whether it be imagination, fear of death, anything dealing with the heart of man. Hazlitt had a great difficulty in expressing himself, and he was very scared to talk, and he was not even very good at writing. Can you believe it? And because of this, he started painting because it was his passion. And in 1802, he traveled to Paris to work in Louvre as a painter. Though he did not stay there long because the war between England and France compelled him to return back to his native place. His friends, Charles Lamb, Wordsworth, and Coleridge, encouraged his ambitions as a painter. It is said that till 1805, he painted on canvases for people on the roads, and he charged 5 guineas for them. In 1805, he returned to the metaphysics and the study of philosophy that had attracted him earlier, publishing his first book on the principles of human action. That is, though he painted, he felt that he was born to write, and he started picking up the trends again, and he started writing. His collection on dramatic criticism appeared as a view of the English stage in 1818. His literary endeavors could not get the success they deserved because of his political principles, because he was direct. He didn't use superficial or sublime language. He used what came into his mind. He wrote for the common man. And like Wordsworth, one of his contemporaries, he did not believe in writing in lofty language because he felt that work should be read and understood by everyone. That is the importance of literature. He began to give lectures in philosophy in London and began to work as a journalist reporter in the Morning Chronicle and gained the reputation of a journalist, critic, and essayist. Hazlitt's performance as an essayist improved as he wrote his way through metaphysical refutations and art of proving a statement or theory to be false or wrong. Parliamentary reporting, routine drama, reviews towards the self-awareness, and discursive style of the familiar essays were his domain. And his writing career can be divided into three parts. The first stage is the apprentice stage or the beginning stage from 1804 to 1814, which comprises his first stiff attempts at philosophical and political criticism. The transitional journalistic period from 1815 to 1819, which included brief newspaper articles and literary lectures. And the third and final, the mature period, which he gave his all to writing from 1820 to 1830, in which he composed longer analytical essays on the human traits as embodied in his contemporaries. So he looked around everyone who were with him or who were at his time, and then he started analyzing them and writing their essays on the human characters. The range of his interest is impressive. A series of 3 passages, one drawn from each period of his writing and each group written on the same topic, reveal that Hazlitt's interest remained constant throughout his writing career. That is from the 3 different stages, the beginning, the transitional, and the mature. If you have picked up a topic of the same theory, then you find out that his ideas are typically same from the beginning, the middle, and the mature period. His feelings did not change for the common man. He wanted to write about them, their problems, and how the political solutions could be sought. The concrete expression in his essays, however, underwent a gradual development in style with modifications in syntax, imagery, and stance. I would like to tell you some of the few excerpts which are very interesting, and they are really interesting and can be followed in real life. Who are the actors? They are the only honest hypocrites. Their life is a voluntary dream, a studied madness. Is this the real life which they are enacting out? No, it is not. They only imitate the other famous people, other historical people, and then they act it out. And we remember the actors only till they're acting, but the history remains always in our mind. The stage not only refines the manners, but it is the best teacher of morals, for it is the truest and most intelligible picture of life. So the stage gives you many teachings also. If you just observe anything, you will learn from it, and it represents the picture of society and the picture of life. The author also says, if the stage is useful as a school of instruction, it is no less so as a source of amusement. That is a fact, because besides teaching, it also helps you to laugh, get away your wild moods, and enjoy your time in the theater. If the stage thus introduces us familiarly to all our contemporaries, it also brings us acquainted with the former times. It is an interesting revival of the past ages, their manners, opinions, dresses, persons, and actions. So these actors are acting. The actors are superb people who enact the former historical pictures and show it to us as in real life. In the essay on actors and acting, Hazlitt describes actors as the many-sided representatives of human nature and also as persons who symbolize the history of time in which they live. So they become a symbol who acted out the historical character. A dramatic performance can be a source of moral instruction to an audience, but it is also a source of amusement. That is what Hazlitt tried to tell us in his essay. A man can enter into an intimate conversation with an unknown if both of them seen the latest play recently. They can discuss the merits of the play and of any new actor who might have made his appearance. The actors give a topic for conversation, and then they become the center of attraction, and the topic continues, and people become acquainted with each other. Hazlitt has related the loss of the actors who applauded at the plays they play, but still leave no records of their own lives except a rumor of having been. So you don't know the personal life of the actors. They have enacted out in the theater some historical character, and you remember him through that historical character. You don't know about his internal life, how he lived his life, what were his problems, or what made him to act. These are all the questions that are seen within the lines of actors and acting. The actors represent kings and paupers. They enact the traditional characters who are extremely rich, but in real life, live a life of a common man. They are just common people. They are not someone extraordinary from the heaven. They have come and are enacting or the historical plays. They are one of us. They look at us, they see the changes we make, they study our characters, and in the same way, they enact all the same characters. Uncertain of the future, they make sure of the present moment. The act perishes with the actor, leaving the world no copy. There is no path so steep as that of fame, no labor so hard as the pursuit of excellence. The author wants to tell us that these actors acted as historical people and no one will remember them after a certain time, and they will leave no copy because theater is enacting it out every day, and they work so hard to get the perfection they want, that and they spend their whole life trying to become excellent in the parts they have performed. On the stage, dramatic performances carry on audience back to the past ages, especially when a play which is being represented on the stage deals with some persons and happenings of a past era. There may be something very interesting, some accident occurring, some war taking place, some romance being enacted, and these all enthrall the audience, and they just want to listen and continue listening to the voice, the way they tell their dialogues. There is an air of romance about the actor, something which is not known about. Because you don't know his common life, you only know him as an actor. People feel very happy and thrilled when they see some favorite actor in a street in his plain clothes. The audience feels deeply moved when a popular actor retires from the stage. The few lines which are very interesting in this essay and which show the deep philosophy of life written by Hazlitt is a thing to be studied, the lines to be understood, chewed and digested, as Bacon has said. The most pleasant feature in the profession of a player, and which indeed is peculiar to it, is that we do not admire the talent of those who adorn it, but we contract a personal intimacy with them. There is no class of society whom so many persons regard with affection as actors. We greet them on stage. We like to meet them in the streets. They almost always recall to us pleasant associations, and we feel our gratitude excited without the uneasiness of a sense of obligation. The very gaiety and popularity, however, which surround the life of a favorite performer make the retiring from it a very serious business. It glances a mortifying reflection on the shortness of human life and vanity of human pleasures. Something reminds us that all the world's a stage and all the men and women are merely players. So this is a fact in which many of the great writers have also said it. The great taskmaster is a person and we are the actors enacting out a part on this earth. This is all a dramatic stage. At the end of the play, it could be said that the central theme of the play, actors and acting, deals with the real life story of humans who are also enacting a part that has written by God, our great taskmaster. They are the representatives of the human nature. Their aim tries to prove that they are someone whom they are not. We remember the actors for the acting they have done. We forget their actual names, but we remember them by the names they have enacted. That is the speciality of an actor. They play the scenes as written or prompted and feel good if the representation is perfect, for in this they forget themselves and live the lives of the others for a temporary time, because they are just common people, and by enacting out historical characters, they live the moment in pompous applause, thinking that they have lived life to the full. Many a times they have been accused of extravagance, whereas in real life They are just common people. For the moment, they live, they enjoy, they give pleasure, and they form a topic of conversation among the common man. It is only when the actors are themselves that they are nothing, is an apt quote which stays. As long as they are imitating or relating to someone else, they may be kings or paupers or heroes, but when they are themselves, they are of no importance. Cruel, but it is true, because you forget them on their deathbed. We enjoy the stage actors, enjoy imitating the common man with a few changes, and thus gives enjoyment to the common man. They pleasure the common man, that's why they are specifically different from any common man. Thus, in his simplicity and propriety of style, he relates to the common man, his difficulties, his problems, and his joys. The whole essay deals with the happiness of man, the success of man, why he has come to earth, and what he wants to do in real life. We may say that he was a more consistent prose writer of clear English in the earlier period of the 19th century. That is, when he reached his final stage, the mature stage, he started writing in a very nice way. He wrote vigorously. He had no particular mannerisms. He didn't follow any particular style. He thought more of his matter than his manner. His matter, the things which he picked up, the themes which he used were very simple, very common, and could be understood by the common man. He didn't use lofty language. He used words to give meaning to the sentence and did not look to the style of using hoity-toity words. His essays carry full meaning, and the writing gives you a peep into the society of the times. His essays are a reflection of the people, the common man during that time. We read the struggles, but not the style. His style is clear, incisive, and easy, as he has no attraction towards lofty language, but speaks the facts as it is. He didn't want to cover it into something monumental. He wanted it to be understood by the common man, so he used very simple words in writing his essay. He delves into the depth of man's mind and comes out with a vision that makes you realize that men think themselves omnipotent. So, on the whole, Hazlitt is a writer for the common people, of the common people, and the things he has placed in his essays are all for the common man. And I would also like to say that Hazlitt perfected his style. So when we have read about Hazlitt, and he's saying that he was not able to write in the beginning, he turned to painting, but later, because he had a fascination for writing, because he had a fascination for the surrounding man, he started writing and he succeeded. Today we know him as a great personal essayist. So every person, if he has a will, can do what he wants to do, and this is what Hazlitt has proved, that when you work hard, you get what you want. If you don't work hard and you forget what you aim for, then you will never reach your goal. So struggle is the main theme of this essay, and when you struggle, you find your goal. Thank you. I hope you enjoyed this lecture, and maybe if we get a chance, I'll come back with another lecture. Thank you.